Batman takes on old nemesis Solomon Grundy. Ladies and gentlemen, Solomon Grundy is so confident he can beat Batman, he is putting his career on the line. Grundy, if you remember, came in for the King of Horror tournament, and he did well, but then he got an injury in the tournament, but unfortunately, he was eliminated, but he won it's a confusing thing, I know. He was eliminated from the King of Horror tournament, but he is still here because he had some unfinished business, and he wanted to wait until he had this man in the ring. And he feels he can beat the Dark Knight with no problem. The Cape Crusader himself, Batman, and Solomon Grundy have a long history, long bitter feud, violent, and whatnot. And Grundy says if he cannot beat the Cape Crusader, then he will in fact leave Dream Masters for good. As Batman is getting it from Solomon Grundy after a little bit of a flare-up. And Grundy backbreaker. Grundy destroying the Dark Knight, trying to destroy the Dark Knight, the Cape Crusader, the Man of the Hour, the Batman, the Vigilante, the Philanthropist, the DC Punisher, basically, and a Cape Crusader, the business playboy. I think that's enough monikers of Batman. Of course, if you guys don't know who Batman is, then then clearly you can't be a comic book person if you don't know who Batman is. As Solomon Grundy locks it up. DDT by Grundy. Grundy looks to be able to back up his words. Of course, the Dark Knight not putting his career on the line here, folks, but Solomon Grundy is. He's confident he can beat Batman once and for all. Batman, of course, doesn't back down from a challenge. I give him respect for that, but when you got someone like Solomon Grundy in there, you have to be careful. You don't have Robin in there to help you out. You're all by yourself here. There's no holds barred in this, folks. So far, they're sticking in the ring, which is probably smart. It's when you step out of the ring, you got to be careful. Grundy especially. Oh, Grundy with a fist. I'm going to have to say, if Batman was smart, he would keep it in the ring, because I think Grundy would be dangerous outside of him. There's a camel clutch on the Cape Crusader. Is Cape Crusader hang on there? It's a lot of weight to be on your lower back. He might look to be bending the Batman in half, but Batman escapes. What else is new? Oh, my. Barely gets him up into a fist. And there's a pin by the Batman. Grundy gets a shoulder up. Batman frustrated. Understandably so. Uh-oh. What does Batman have planned here? Drops an elbow. I mean, a leg drop across the throat of Grundy. Wears that neck, that noose around his neck as a sign of anybody who wants to try him. That he's been through hell and he's not afraid of going again. And now Batman working on the leg, which is smart when you're facing someone who's bigger than you. Take down a leg, and it's hard for them to stand. And if they can't stand, they can't throw you around. Uh-oh. Batman throws him out, but Grundy with a fist to the face slows the Batman now. Uh-oh. Batman's up. Oh, reversal. And a modified inverted DDT. And Batman stretching. He feels pretty... Batman stretches. He's a little exhausted by taking it to Grundy, which is not good for Batman if he's getting exasperated this early into the match. And there's a jawbreaker. And if he is that exhausted, he better put him away quick. Uh-oh. But Batman decides not to go to the high-rent district as Grundy's getting up. I don't know what he was trying to do there as the referee gets in his way. What else is new? This referee's getting an earful from us, let me tell you. Uh-oh, Grundy. Nice slam by Grundy out of nowhere. The Dark Knight is already exhausted. You could tell earlier. Grundy talking some smack to the Dark Knight, kind of daring him to get up. how sadistic is Grundy. Watches the Dark Knight crawl on his hands and knees. There's the DDT by Grundy. And I'm curious why Grundy's not going for a pinfall. He's allowing the Dark Knight to get up again. I don't know how smart that is. You want to, if you can get the Dark Knight down, you should finish him. Driving down to the mat. Grundy feels pretty spontaneous. He feels pretty good about himself, but not going for the pin. Now he goes for the pin. And there you go. Grundy stays on the roster and defeats the Dark Knight. Again, the Dark Knight, Batman did not put his career on the line here, folks. Grundy did. But Grundy backs up his claims to being able to knock off the Cape Crusader. Despite what Batman could bring to him, I think Batman was exhausted 3/4 of the way into this match, which is why I believe Grundy was able to pick up the win. Be interesting to see what would happen if Grundy met Bane in action. Bane, the man who was known for breaking the bat. Grundy just beat the bat. Of course, Bane has also beaten the bat before. So I guess we could find out who the ultimate Batman villain is, too. A very interesting thing that would be. That'd be an interesting tournament, would it not, folks? To find out who the number one Batman villain would be. As Grundy picks up the win, lets the fans know he doesn't need the admiration, tells them all where to go and how to get there, and wishes the boos that he's getting. All right, folks, we're going to have our second King of the Horror qualifier coming up next. Stick around.